It's time for another Dice Tower review from Gamers Remorse.
Hello and welcome back to Gamers Remorse. Today we're going to play Mad Rush Rally, so buckle up and brace yourself for the rushing of the rally. Maddening.
Hello and welcome back to Gamers Remorse. Today we're taking a look at Mad Rush Rally, an independent game for 2 to 4 players and takes about 30 minutes to play. The objective of the game is to complete the race first, but there's a catch. Each player is doing their best to accumulate weapons, defenses, and take shortcuts, all while building the track as they play. The game comes with 4 car pawns, 18 track tiles, and 70 items. All of the track tiles are shuffled and dealt to each player evenly. The 70 item tokens are stacked in piles grouped by the number on their back, 1, 2, 3, or 4. And the pawns are placed on the starting track tile. On your turn, you have 3 action points to spend and 3 possible ways to spend them. You may purchase an item token for 2 points, move a space for 1 point, or play an item for free. You may only have a maximum of 2 items at a given time. The token piles marked 1 through 4 represent the position in which a player may draw from. For instance, the first player always draws from the pile marked 1. These items are usually defensive or allow quicker movement, whereas the token pile marked with a 4 are usually the best items in the game and allow you to really upset the balance of the game. Additionally, the item tokens have a number on their front side. This number represents an alternative way to use these tokens. You may discard the token and instead play that many track tiles from your hand onto the end of the road, thereby changing the dynamic of the game as well as extending the gameplay, giving you valuable time to catch up. Ultimately, the goal of the game is to use up all of your track tiles from your hand. Once you do, you are able to cross the finish line and end the game.
To determine who goes first,
The person who owns the oldest car.
I have a 2000.
I have a 2011.
I have a 1967 Mustang Fastback.
Didn't think about that.
Right, did you? You've even seen it.
I have.
Comments below on if you like the 67 Mustang Fastback.
He knew you had that car.
1, 2, 3, and so I get to play another.
No.
No one look at that. No one know that I have a straight
looking.
piece.
Alright, so I'm going to spend 2 actions to take an item. Then I'm going to move 1.
I like to move it.
I'm going to spend 2 to get an item and move 1 as well.
Guess I'll go 3 again. So 1, 2, 3.
I'm going to buy another item 2, and I'm going to move 1. Oh, what now, Aaron? What?
Ooh.
Spend 2
my
to
train
get
listen.
1. And then I am going to spend an item to place track. So I get to lay 2 track.
We played the game before, and this exact same scenario happened. Odd. So I'm just going to move 3 again, because picking any of these really isn't good for a first player. So 1, 2, 3.
So I'm going to play an item for free, buy an item, and move 1.
Okay.
So I will play a boost. Then I will buy an item.
Okay.
I will spend an item to lay track, because I did not want Sean to be able to shortcut.
Well played, sir. Well played. I'm going to spend 2 to take item and spend 1 to lay track.
I feel like Aaron and I are just going to sit here for the entire game.
Sorry.
Right about now,
one track.
I feel like you guys are standing off to the side saying, "Dance, monkey, dance!" And I'm like, okay. So 1, 2, 3. I'm not even going to turn around that corner. I'm just going to go in reverse.
Turn around.
Every now and then, it's Brian's turn.
Turn around. And I'm going to do it because I like to inflict pain upon myself. Spend 1 to build, 2 to take. So I'm going to build. Put that there.
Wait, how many items do you have?
I now have 0.
Okay, so technically you were supposed to take first.
Oh, so I would
It doesn't
take.
matter.
Yeah.
Spend this 1 to place. Then I'm going to move 2 and place an item.
No!
So 1, 2, place this here. 3, which gives me 1, 2, 3.
Well played, sir. Well played.
Alright, I am going to regret how I played this game.
Regret to your heart's content.
I kind of feel like
Replace.
Aaron has it.
Yeah, I'm going to
Unless
replace
you
this
can
here.
bomb him.
And I'm taking a 4 and I'm moving.
Alright, I'm moving 3 again. Place my last track.
So this is the last turn.
Yeah, unless you... No, because you never took any of these.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
He can
I'm going
place.
to build.
Yep.
Should I draw something?
Is it worth it?
1, 2, 3. Well, whatever.
So I'm going to build, place, buy.
Mm-hmm.
So I buy. Then I build.
2. Yikes. 2 straightaways. Alright, I
Wow.
can deal with that.
And then I place.
What's that?
Oil slick.
Oh.
Alright, so I move 3. 1, 2, 3.
Alright, so my turn. I'm going to play, build, play, buy, move.
Mm-hmm.
Play, buy.
Laughing.
Move.
Okay.
My next turn's going to be awesome.
1, 2, 3.
Just stay in your lane.
I'm gonna buy an item which does me no good at all, and then 2.
Alright, so I'm in a
Next turn.
bowling ball. So this goes.
I turn on my side, which delays me 1 movement.
And then I buy. And I move.
So I spend 1 movement to turn myself up and move 2. 1 movement away. That bowling ball.
Can you build an item? That is the question. Can you build track?
Play this and jump. So 1 moves me there, and then 2, 3. Winner!
If I could have played that.
Alright, do your victory face on screen this time. Let's go ahead and review Mad Rush Rally. I'll go ahead and start this time,
Okay.
if it's alright with you guys. Overall, I liked the game. It has that competitive edge that I really look for in a lot of cutthroat games. With all of these items that you get, they're all pretty much, hose this guy over here, that guy. It's you or me sort of a thing.
Yep.
So I like that aspect of it. I'm a little annoyed that it seems like the main strategy is don't go. Finish line goes and you have to just sit there and then gather up all the best items and then use them all to your best ways. Because if all 3 of you don't move and you're all doing that strategy, you guys are all drawing item 1s, which doesn't get you there. So then it's like stalemate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that I went ahead was because I didn't want the game to be that way for the demo, but that's the best strategy there is. So either way, I'm going to go right into my rubric. Quality of components, 0 to 2. I gave it a 1. Overall, I thought the graphics were good. It had kind of a cartoony feel to each of the items. I loved that. I love these little cars. It worked very, very well. What I didn't like was the rules. I put that under the quality of components because that's what you look at when you determine how to play. That's your very first impression outside of looking at the box. I think it probably need to be reworked a little bit. But overall, great game once you figure out all of those aspects. So 1 point for there. Good balance of skill to luck, 0 to 1. I gave it a 0.5 just because the items are so random. I do like that there's different levels of items. I think that really helped to solidify more of a strategy in the game. But as it is, Brian was waiting for a bomb, and he got through 3/4 of the items before he finally found one.
And then it was too late.
Yeah, well, actually,
It was
by
actually
then the
my
game
next
was over.
turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had the game not have ended, I would have drawn a bomb.
Analysis paralysis, 0 to 1. I gave that one a 0.5. I felt like there wasn't a whole lot of paralysis when you're playing the game. However, when you first play, goes back to that rule book. You go ahead and open up the rule book and you're like, oh, what does this item do? What does this item? And then a series of debates erupt where you finally decide what can and can't happen. Theme, I'm going to give it a 1.5. I really enjoy the racing theme to it. It wasn't... I didn't feel immersed in it, however, it was clearly there. The rule book has all sorts of racing type graphics to it. It reminded me kind of like a RC Pro-Am or Mario Kart feel, which it's a good feeling. So 1.5 for that. Thrill competitive, 0 to 2. I gave it a 2, as I said. It's a very competitive game, very cutthroat. I really enjoyed that. And was it fun? 1.5. This is a game that you could play fairly quickly once you know the game and the other players know the game. But yeah, I would definitely play it again. I would probably play it a couple times in a night, and after that, I'd probably, say that's enough. Let's play something more immersive. But overall, really liked it. Brian, what'd you think?
All right, I have a different view on this game.
Do it.
As Sean mentioned, previously playing this game a few times with various people, we have learned the best strategy is to lag behind. However, if multiple people are doing that, it becomes the worst strategy. And so then one of them has to go up ahead. But by doing that, you now have the worst strategy because you should lag behind.
Yep.
And so you'll notice both of us lagging behind, and the end of what took it is he had to cut out and then block me from cutting. At that point, I was so far behind, the only way to ever catch up is by drawing a bomb. I could never run the track fast enough. But I never drew a bomb. And so the entire game was essentially just for naught, you could say.
It's a fair point.
But that'll come into play later. As far as the visuals, on a scale of 0 to 2, I gave it a 1. I enjoyed the visuals, but I wish the images would explain kind of how it is utilized. A squirrel, if I'm in a race, I'm going to run over a squirrel. If I hit an oil patch, I don't think that's going to stop me and move me back a space. I wish the images worked more with what they did. But I'm not sure a way that could have been done per se. Skill luck, 0 to 1. I'm going to give that a 0.5 because there is so much luck in what you draw, as well as how other people build the track. The way we started, I'm like, hey, we're going straight. The track can go either way. Sure, I'll start on the left. Aaron starts on the right. The track curves to the right. Instantly, my starting position is worse off. Had I have built the turn to the right, it would have been totally different.
Technically, he built the turn to the right?
I built the turn to the right in order to curve it to my favor.
But that's where I could have built that before. And so there is that aspect of when do you play what you have. And so the luck turns into skill based on who is doing it, which is counterproductive in my opinion. So I'm going to give that a 0.5. Pacing, 0 to 2, I'm going to give it a 1 for the same reason Sean mentioned. Whenever you get an image, you have to look up what it does. Arguably, eventually you can memorize what they all do, but then you teach it to a new friend of yours, and they have to look it up, and you'll teach it to another friend, and they'll have to look it up. I wish each player had a card that explained what they all did, so you wouldn't have to pass the rule book around. In the end, we all just pulled the rules on our phones. Theme and immersion, 0 to 2. I'm going to give that 1.5. Like Sean said, it is a tabletop version of those classic video games, which are awesome. Like in this, I never won in those either. Fun fact. Mechanics, 0 to 1. I'm going to give that a 0.5. I liked some of them, but just there's too much luck that I didn't enjoy. I would like to see some other things altered, such as what the items are. I would like to see you able to run over squirrels. Maybe a slick alters the direction you go or slows you down, but doesn't send you backwards.
Can I add something to your mechanics? As we talked about, the main strategy in this game is hold back and get the best items, and then just explode and win. I really think that maybe there should be a limit marker on how long you can sit on one tile before you move, because you guys sat back here and I was almost around the bend before you guys finally said, oh sweet, I'll just go ahead and build a route. Maybe there should be a limit marker. So in D-Day Dice, they use dice to actually track that. Something like that would be awesome.
What if you could only move right or left if you went forward? So you have to move forward every turn.
Oh,
that would make a lot more sense.
So like changing lanes, you can move diagonally forward.
I mean, it costs you 2. You go 1, 2.
Yeah.
Anyways, was it fun? 0 out of 2. I gave that a 1. I enjoyed it, but there were just too many conditions that took fun away. And so all in all, I gave it a 5.5, which feels right to me.
Well, I also gave this game a 7. We had some, like we said, when we were moving side to side, we had some disagreements as to whether or not this ramp would actually jump you sideways or jump you straight forward, depending on which way you were coming up to the ramp. Rule clarification would be nice.
The reason I was saying that we should update the rules is because it seems like we're having it seemed like there's problems with conciseness.
Agreed.
Right, so it would talk around an issue before actually pressing on it. And that's very common in independent games. That just means you need someone to edit it.
So that was the majority of the things that were bad in my mind. For the most part, I love games like this in terms of if you're hanging back, you can buy items that you can spend to lay down tracks. Like, I got rid of all of my track and pretty much popped over here and got into the lead right away. By being able to get rid of all my track, I made it so that as soon as I crossed the finish line, I was done, instead of having to lay down a bunch more track. I think I had like 2 cards or something in my hand by the time I took the shortcut. I think there are just a few mechanics to just kind of iron out, but...
All right, well, this game is on the Game Crafter currently. We'll post the link below. Please go ahead and check that out. All right, thanks, guys.
Drive safe.
Chesterton here.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.